What's up, grinders? It's the Country CEO back again with another video. I trust that you've had a great day today and that God has graced you with breath in your body to be able to open your eyes, make it through that whole day, or if this is your morning, look at this video. Here we are again with a video. Got a question today. How do you deal with problem drivers? How do you deal with problem drivers, right? You're going to be successful in scaling up your business. You need drivers. But every once in a while, you get a bad apple in the bunch. How do you deal with that bad apple? I'm glad you asked. I hope I can provide some answers to help you in this endeavor. All right. So, of course, after 20 years being in the dump truck business, you just know that at some time or another, I've had to run into some bad drivers. Well, let me give you the good news. After 20 years, it took about 13 years before I actually started having that problem, right? 14 years, man, it was smooth sailing. I was one of those guys during that time driving one, but I had some great guys and much love to them brothers. If they ever watch this video concerning this, I appreciate all that you guys have done to make Seek Ye First Enterprises be what it is today, right? All right, but then there came a time when the quality of the driver wasn't as good as I was accustomed to, right? So how did I deal with that situation? Well, I give you 3 C's that helped me that I believe can help you to be able to navigate these turbulent waters called dealing with a driver, right? All right, first thing, when I realize there's some issues, I'm counseling, right? Of course, you know by now, if you subscribe to this channel, that I am pastor. So I believe in giving second chances. I believe in talking and communicating with a fella or a lady and finding out what the issue is or telling them what issue I have, right? So I am going to counsel with you. When I see the issue or I've got a call about you or whatever the case may be, you're not going to have to worry about hearing it from somebody else. I'm coming to you. I'm going to say, hey, look, we need to talk, right? And I'm going to have a conversation with them, and I'm going to lay it out for them in very clear and plain terms what the problem is, right? I'm going to counsel with them. Hey, here's the problem. Here's the issue. And then here, what's your version of what happens, right? I'm not going to just push on, hey, this is what you did, right? No, I'm going to tell them what the issue is, what has came to me or what I saw. And then I'm going to allow them to give their version of what happened. And then I'm going to redirect and say what needs to happen next time, right? All right. And that's just how it's going to go, right? I'm going to counsel with them. And then, I may put a letter or note in a file for them that on this day I talked to such and such about such and such, right? And then depending on the nature of the infraction or the problem, I may get them to sign and say, hey, me and you talked about this on this day, right? If it's not that big a deal, then I may just leave it as a verbal kind of conversation, right? All right, so I'm counseling with them, bringing the problem to them, letting them give their version. Hey, this is what needs to happen next time, okay? All right, so after we leave that encounter, then what I'm looking for then is correction. I've counseled. Now I'm looking for correction on their part. All right. I'm going to be watching, or I'm going to have somebody to watch to make sure that that individual corrected the wrongful behavior or action or whatever the case may be. Right. All right. That's what I'm looking for. All right. And so, everybody deserves a chance to correct what they may have done wrong. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe it's out of ignorance. Maybe it's out of negligence. I don't know. But I'm going to give you a chance to correct the wrong. All right. Then, after I've counseled, after I've given you a chance to correct, and if it continues, all right, then we're going to be talking about curbing you. Curbing, as in kick to the curb, right? Because either you're just that ignorant or you're deliberately disobeying what I'm asking you to do, right? And for me to be talking to you, either it's going to be hurting the truck some kind of way, my business some kind of way, you're messing up some kind of way, right? So it's going to be serious enough for me to curb you, okay? All right, because 3 strikes, you're out. I've counseled. That's strike 1. You got correction. That's strike 2. You keep on doing it. Well, that's 3 strikes for me. you're out of there, right? You can't afford to let an unruly, disobedient driver cause you some problems and particularly some money, and that you're gonna in a situation that you're gonna regret going forward, right? All right, so some of you may have some questions about what are some non-negotiables when it comes to dealing with drivers. I had some non-negotiables, and I still got these same non-negotiables that I go by, right? If you're getting video from this channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button right now as you're watching this video, all right? What are some non-negotiables, right? Obviously, at the top of my list is drugs, right? If I find out, even if you pass my initial drug test, if after that you've been found to be on drugs, or I seen you to get a test, or you refuse a test, then obviously you're out of here, right? Also, if I observe that a fella is an excessive drinker late into the night, and that's what he's doing late into the night, knowing he's got to work in the morning, and he's out 1 and 2 drinking with the fellas, partying 3 o'clock in the morning, and know he has to get in the truck at 6:30, 7 o'clock. No, bruh. That's a kick to the curb for me. Why, Country CEO? Because alcohol is going to still be in your system and on your breath in the morning. And if he gets stopped by a DOT or a state trooper and they smell that alcohol, somebody's in trouble. Or he could still go out there and have an accident, and then they send him to get a test, and it's in his system. He's going to be considered for a DWI, and then look at the damage to your business because this rascal is out late drinking, late into the night, getting in your truck in the morning with alcohol still in his system. That's a no-brainer for me. Kick him to the curb. All right? All right. So those are non-negotiables. Drugs, and then drinking, but drinking particularly late into the night, in the wee hours of the morning, knowing he has to get on the truck in the morning, right? All right, next thing, non-negotiable, being consistently late, right? Being consistently late, okay? All right, that's a problem because, number one, you're representing my business, right? And then you're representing me. So if you're late, then that's not a good representation. I've always wanted my guys to be 10 to 15 minutes early. It looks good. People watch that. Construction companies look for that. All right? If your guy is consistently 5-10 minutes late every day, when it's time to cut trucks and narrow down to just a few trucks, guess what? They're going to kick that fella. Well, we don't want him because he can't get here on time anyway, right? All right, so if you're consistently late, can't get up in the morning, I'm just going to only take so much of that, kick you to the curb, right? Being on time is one of the hallmarks from which I built my business, which got me favor with a lot of companies because they knew one thing: Jones or Seek Ye First is going to be there, okay? All right, non-negotiable for me. All right, third non-negotiable, not taking care of the equipment, right? Rough riding the truck, dogging the truck out. You see these big old bumps in the road and potholes, and you got that load on there, and you, boom, hitting that pothole with that 60, 70,000 pounds. That damages and increases wear and tear on that truck. Show me that you care about this truck. Drive this truck like you know that this is what's making you a living and also making me a living, right? So if I run up on you, or if I get a call that you dogging my equipment out and driving it and rawhiding it and driving excessively fast and all this kind of stuff, kick you to the curb. All right? Non-negotiable. You got to go. All right? Fourth thing that's a non-negotiable for me is a bad attitude, right? Some guys just act like every day they wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Now, I'm not a big fan of the wake up on the wrong side of the bed thing because I'm a religious man. You ought to be glad you woke up. Did y'all get that? You ought to just be happy you woke up and you got the nerve to have an attitude every morning. Is not any morning a good morning for you, right? Or nobody can say anything to you and you got an attitude. I can't deal with that. Got to curb you behind that because you got to be corrected. There's some things you got to be told, or the boss on the job needs to instruct you a certain kind of way. And when you don't respond to him in the right way, then that's a representation of me and my business, right? All right. So I can't have that. Now, if he's cussed you out or talked to you wrong, I might could back you on that. But if you just out there acting a doggone fool for no reason, got a bad attitude, don't want nobody to say nothing to you, gotta curb you, buddy. All right. And so fifth and final thing, lying and stealing. All right. Lying and stealing. What are you talking about, country CEO? Well, if I've asked you questions about were you late, or did you stop here, or did you do this or do that, whatever the case may be, man, tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. Don't have me looking stupid in front of the contractor, right? Tell me what really happened. If something went on a job, tell me the truth. Don't have me looking crazy. If you know you were 10 minutes late, don't have me looking crazy and the man got you on video or got your ticket time and he knows you were late. How can I go to bat for you and you're lying to me, right? All right. And my grandmother had a saying, by the way, if you're lying, you'll cheat. And if you cheat, you'll steal. I'm going to say that again for y'all. If you lie, you steal. If you steal, you'll cheat. My grandmother used to say that. All right. So I can't stand a liar. Tell me the truth about what happened on the job. And then I can't stand for you to be stealing. If I find out that you're taking material off the job that belongs to these contractors and you done went somewhere and sold it, or you done went somewhere and made you a few dollars, or brought it to your house because you wanted to do your driveway or something like that, I got to curb you, right? I can't trust you if you're stealing from me, right? All right, so that's one form of stealing. But also you have to be aware of drivers sometimes have been known to take your fuel card, fill your truck up, and then an old partner that they know, they need a few dollars in their pocket. Your driver needs a few dollars in his pocket, so he's got a friend that has a truck, and then he'll fill his friend's truck up at the station on your card. Let me say that again. Drivers, there's another way that they can steal. They can take your fuel card, fill your truck up, don't reset the handle on the pump, have their friend pull in, and then they can fill their friend's truck up with $200 worth of diesel. The friend might give them $100 for the trouble, right? That's stealing from you. And so if I find out you're stealing, and that's just some examples of how they have stole, I've had it happen from me, from fuel and from material, then I gotta curb you, right? All right, so those are my non-negotiables. Dealing with problem drivers, I'm going to counsel, I'm going to correct, and if we can't get it together, I'm going to curb you, right? 3 strikes, you gotta go, right? This paradigm has worked for me for 20 years, and I think it's done pretty well. And I haven't had any issues, and I find that it's provided much fruit in our business, right? All right, country CEO, finna get out of here. You know I like to say it, if you go shine, I ain't got my shirt on today, you gotta grind, right? Peace out. Have a good one.